Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Kind of sounds a little bit like the conversation you just had about wanting the spotlight. This is what I said about it, and I love it. I want to see them going at it. I want to see them playing physical. I want to keep this racist crap off the court where it belongs. If some jamoke wants to talk like that, then go home. I don't want to hear it. I love this rivalry. I am here for every single second of it. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way.
Stephen A. Smith says the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese rivalry isn't even real, and he's not the only one. Dan Patrick also points out that it's Clark who's truly driving all the attention to the WNBA. Analysts agree. It's her talent, work ethic, and star power that stand out. Meanwhile, they hint that Angel Reese's fame mostly comes from being linked to Clark.
But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal.
Stephen A. Smith says Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese isn't even a real rivalry, and he's not the only one. Dan Patrick says Clark's the real reason the WNBA is blowing up, not Reese. Analysts say her fame mostly comes from Clark, but Reese calls it historic and leans into being the villain. Hit subscribe and comment who you think comes out on top. Smith's take gets even sharper next.
Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level. That's number two.
Stephen A. Smith says Caitlin Clark is just on another level, and it's not about hype. From breaking records at Iowa to dominating under pressure, Smith says she already plays like a pro. And that 35-point blowout? Proof this isn't a real rivalry. He respects Angel Reese's talent, but says her fame mainly comes from being linked to Clark.
Number three, Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark. Because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous.
Smith says Angel Reese's popularity mostly comes from viral moments, especially her NCAA title game interaction with Caitlin Clark and the social media buzz that followed. But going viral isn't the same as dominating on the court. According to him, Reese's fame is tied to drama, while Clark is building a legacy through performance.
But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark. Now, you might, if you stay long enough, maybe you'll see something or someone there you go, okay, I'm entertained by this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watched golf because of Tiger.
For Smith, that's the real difference. Clark's rewriting records, while Reese is riding viral waves. He says Clark's laser focus, leadership, and clutch performances set her apart. Her teammates rally around her, and she delivers game after game. Reese is talent, but Smith argues her rep is built more on moments than consistent dominance.
But these are not players of the same stature. They're not it. Like,
and that's not an insult to Angel Reese.
No. Caitlin Clark's different, right? Like, I think that's something that a lot of people just need to come to terms and understand here is much of the why Caitlin Clark and not other people is that the other people are not Caitlin Clark. Like, strictly talking about this is basketball. She's it.
Smith isn't alone. Dan Patrick agrees, saying the WNBA's surge in attention is all because of Clark, not Reese. Patrick says the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark. Clark is driving the conversation and the ratings for the whole league. So, if Clark's on another level, why is Reese leaning into this and calling it historic? Let's hear her side.
She made a lot of money NIL-wise her last year.
Angel Reese isn't hiding from the spotlight. She's owning it. She's heard the bad guy talk and isn't running from it. Reese said, "I'll take that role, the bad guy role, and go down in history for it." She's not just reacting. She's controlling the narrative, turning it into something bigger. For Reese, being the villain isn't a setback. It's a way to keep women's basketball in the spotlight, even if it means taking the heat.
But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball. She is a social media star, and she has capitalized on that. And maybe she embraces being the villain. But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game.
Reese says all this attention began with the national championship game, where the world saw her clap back at Caitlin Clark with the iconic "you can't see me" gesture. That moment made everyone talk about Angel Reese. She knows exactly how much it boosted her profile and women's basketball.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Reese openly admits she's playing the villain on purpose. She knows even negative attention gets people watching. She said, "Negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is." For her, being the foil to Clark and the one people love to hate is worth it if it helps grow the game. This rivalry isn't just about two players. It's about building something bigger for everyone watching.
And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person.
But here's where it gets tricky. Is Reese's villain role smart branding or a distraction from a real on-court rivalry? Next, we break down what Monty Jones had to say. When you step back, the Clark-Reese rivalry isn't just basketball anymore. It's tangled in online drama and bigger issues. Jones calls the whole atmosphere almost unbearable, saying the nonstop takes and endless arguments make it hard to enjoy the game. He warns that the conversation has drifted so far from the court, many forget why they started watching in the first place.
There is a magic bird element, obviously, to these two players. The problem is Angel Reese ain't no Magic Johnson.
Good player, not Magic Johnson.
Johnson Jones compares the Clark-Reese rivalry to the legendary Bird-Magic rivalry, but with a twist. He says if Bird and Magic played in the same conference, society would have exploded. That's how intense the Clark-Reese matchup feels online. Instead of just celebrating two stars pushing each other, fans are picking sides and fueling drama. Jones sees Clark as the dominant star and Reese as her foil, but the conversation around them goes way beyond basketball.
Catchings. I mean, there are so many great players, but maybe they didn't capture your imagination. Caitlin Clark has. People watched. Now everybody wants to have an opinion on this. And that's where it clutters, muddies up everything that the women have tried to do. They've been there. You just haven't noticed.
Race and perception are at the heart of this debate. Jones asks whether a black player could have become as big a mainstream star as Caitlin Clark, and he's not sure there's even a comparison. Clark's rise isn't just about talent. Her race shapes how she's received. Meanwhile, Reese faces harsher criticism for simply being herself. Jones says these reactions reveal deep expectations and double standards in sports.
What is your rivalry? There is none. And I do appreciate a good rivalry. Like baseball had the Red Sox and the Yankees, which wasn't really a rivalry because the Yankees always won until the Red Sox won. Now you have a rivalry. Like the Giants and the Dodgers, rivalry. But you don't have many of them. And I love to have that where you tune in because it just feels like it's more than just a game. There's tension there. These guys don't like each other. These women don't like each other. I'm fine with that. It's competition.
Jones highlights a key moment to show these dynamics. When Clark gave her walkaway glare earlier in the tournament, fans called her fierce and competitive. But when Reese responded with her own gesture and things got physical, a push, a rebound, tussle, and Aaliyah Boston stepping in, Jones says it felt like World War II. It's not just basketball anymore. It's about how people judge the same actions differently depending on who does them. That moment became a flashpoint, turning the conversation from the game to debates about respect, personality, and race.
Right? Like this thing that happened with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese this last time, it was a basketball tussle between two people that I don't think like each other. Okay. I don't think that's so big.
Jones digs deeper into how fans connect with Clark and Reese. He talks about the parasocial side of the rivalry, how people project their own identities, opinions, and frustrations onto them. Every play turns into a referendum on bigger issues, and fans argue like the outcome is personal. The result? A toxic online scene where cheering for one player feels like attacking the other, and the drama just keeps escalating.
I can't stand you. I can't. And the biggest reason I can't stand online WNBA discourse, it's hardly ever about basketball. Even when it doesn't involve these two. It just does not feel when I consume the things that I see. And maybe I'm hanging out in the wrong places and maybe I'm hanging out in the wrong circles. That's why I'm coming here asking y'all for a little bit of help. It hardly ever seems to be about basketball.
All this attention has definitely brought new eyes to women's basketball. Jones admits the spotlight is brighter than ever, but worries the focus on drama could hurt the league long term. When controversy steals the show, the real basketball gets lost. He wants to enjoy the game for what it is, but the nonstop noise makes that tough. So while the Clark-Reese rivalry draws more viewers, it's also pulling the conversation away from what really matters, the game and the players' talent. That's the real impact of all this drama, and it's something every fan needs to consider moving forward.
Do you think that Angel Reese is very calculated recently with what she's doing? And I'm complimenting her. She made a lot of money NIL-wise her last year at LSU. And it feels like she's embracing this role and leaning into it and even leaning into any criticism of her comments because she knows it's going to pay her back because she can't make money on the floor in the WNBA.
No matter how you slice it, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have changed women's basketball like never before. Stephen A. Smith says their impact is pushing the WNBA forward, while Dan Patrick credits Clark for the surge, comparing her influence to Tiger Woods in golf. That's how big this is right now. So instead of getting lost in rivalry drama, let's just recognize how both have transformed the way we watch the game. Drop a comment. Who do you agree with more, Smith, Reese, or Bomani Jones? And don't forget to subscribe for more deep WNBA breakdowns.